Good afternoon. It's just after midday on Monday the 7th of January and it's my father-in-law's 96th birthday today. Happy birthday, Harry. I hope you're enjoying these vlogs and you're seeing some of the places at the moment that are familiar to you, and I hope you enjoy them. Yes, I've just left Porthpean village. What a beautiful place that is. Had a cup of tea and I'm making my way north to St Austell, where I parked the camper van. Got a bus here, well, the bus to Mevagissey this morning, and I'm making my way back up the coast. It's not a long walk, it should only take me maybe 3 or 4 hours, if that. And then my plan is to drive to Foy tonight and wait tomorrow morning for my friend Ralph to appear. He's at the moment driving down from Wales, from Mysteg near Swansea, and we're going to be staying at his sister's holiday home in Plymouth, and over the next 6 or 7 days we're going to do quite a lot of walking together. I'm really looking forward to that. I met Ralph at the very end of the Pembrokeshire coastal path. I'm not quite sure whether we was in Carmarthenshire or actually in Pembrokeshire, but I know it was very close to the end of the walk, and can't remember the name of the place. My memory for names, as you know, is just getting worse and worse. And on that subject, I'm sorry that yesterday I was telling a guy that I'm walking 390 days at 12.5 miles an hour instead of 12.5 miles per day, quite obviously. But someone pointed it out to me, and I don't look at the films, so I would never know what he was talking about, to be honest, but I obviously made that mistake. And I will make them, because when you've done a long walk and you've just done 17 miles and you're talking to somebody, you're mentally tired, and so I don't do these things on purpose. It's just the way it is. And so today is a beautiful day. We've got the sun out, and I've got the wind behind me, and I'm just taking it easy today. Yesterday I spent all day in my van. I got out of my van for an hour or two to go for a beer yesterday afternoon, but I only had one because there was nobody around, or not many people. But I loaded 3 films onto YouTube and Facebook, and so I was busy in the van all day and enjoyed the rest. So anyway, enough talking, here we go. Well, I've just bumped into these lovely people. This is Stuart and this is Anne, and they're the first, what I would regard as being like serious walkers I've seen for some days. They're certainly dressed for it. And so where are you from, Stuart?
St Austell, actually.
From?
St Austell.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Well, so you're a local man.
This is our local roots, yeah.
Oh, there's not many locals that I come across, usually from miles away.
Yeah, well, we like walking. We've done most of the coast of Cornwall.
Yes.
And we've done quite a bit of the Lake District, haven't we, as well?
Yes.
So we love getting out and walking.
Yes. Yeah. So you're obviously avid walkers. You're kitted out for it.
Yes, we are. Yeah, moorland and coastal.
Yes. Yeah. I mean, this is amazing. This weather at this time of year that allows you to sort of do the odd day, and you can. I'm not saying you can count on it, but the forecast is been more or less like this since Christmas.
Yeah,
and
it has. It's been wonderful
for the same next week at least, isn't it?
Should be dry still.
Walking weather.
Yeah. It makes a change from all the wet weather.
Yeah.
It's remarkable the difference between the North Cornwall coast and the South Cornwall coast.
A lot more rugged.
I found St Ives to Land's End. That was a bit of a grueler. I don't know whether you've done that stretch.
Yes, we have. Yeah.
That was
quite challenging.
Tough.
Yeah. Where was it? We came back and we nearly got blown off the cliffs once. That wet weather.
Oh, that was St Agnes.
St Agnes.
St Agnes.
Yeah, that was horrendous weather that day.
Yeah.
Rain, wasn't it?
Yeah. You do have to be careful though, don't you? You know, it's very. You can
pick your route.
How people do get blown off. You know, I'm always very wary of it.
Yeah.
And I cling the best I can to the path.
And there's quite a bit of erosion now on our coastline as well.
Yes.
Yes, quite a lot of evidence.
Really aware of.
Yes. Well, it's been an absolute pleasure just bumping into you
Yeah.
and talking
Yeah,
to you
and
for a
you.
couple of minutes, and it's very nice to see local people out here. I mean, I've been talking to a lot of dog walkers, not that I've got anything against
No.
them, but I think your serious walkers are sort of calling it a day for winter now.
Yes.
And I mean, people tell us like the beast from the east is going to be hitting us again
that could
soon.
be coming
Yeah.
back.
That's forecast,
true.
but probably not in this area, which is quite
We are
amazing.
quite, generally, we're quite sheltered down here in
Yes.
Cornwall.
Yeah,
We're
yeah.
lucky.
Yes, yes.
Not much snow.
No.
Okay.
All the
Thank you
best
very
of
much.
Yeah, best of luck
and
to
best
you
of
and your
luck in
walk, yeah.
walking as well.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
And we'll follow you on Facebook.
Lovely. Send me a message.
Yeah,
Yes,
we'll
we'll
do.
do.
Okay.
Yeah.
Bye bye now.
Okay,
Bye-bye.
bye.
It's 2 o'clock now and I'm in a deeply wooded area. Absolutely no wind whatsoever, absolutely dead still, and it's lovely. And even this has been a short walk, and there's been some cracking hills on this. One hill was 107, let me get it right, 147 steps down and 167 steps up. And there's been about maybe 3 or 4 similar hills along this run, and But it's lovely. It's challenging, it's tough, and it gets your heart beating, but it's good fun. I can see St Austell in front of me. I would estimate maybe about a mile away, if not slightly more. And then I've got to walk inland back to Asda and pick the van up. And I'm not sure quite what I'm going to do when I get back. I'm more likely to drive to Fowey, or should I say Foy. It's spelt F-O-W-E-Y, but it's pronounced Foy apparently. And there's a ferry that crosses the river. And so if I park up on this side of the river, on the west side, then when Ralph comes tomorrow to make things easier for him and or his wife, whoever's driving, instead of coming all the way around, Ralph could be dropped off to get the ferry across, and that would save his wife a drive for going back to Plymouth. But I've not spoken to him yet. He won't be arriving until late afternoon in Plymouth, and he's been driving all day from South Wales, so we can sort out the logistics later. But it seems a good idea, because the bus that I caught to Mevagissey this morning came from Foy, and so we could pick it up. In Foy and get us to drop us at Asda tomorrow morning, and start the walk from there back to Foy, and then it saves one car hanging around and we can use the van to drive to Plymouth. It's just a thought, just an idea. As I'm walking along, I think of all these things and plan it out carefully in my mind. And you've got to be economical with your time, and you've got to be economical with your money as well in terms of driving and all that kind of stuff. And Ralph's more or less said, well, you plan it and I'll just, you tell me what to do, basically, in terms of the logistics, because all this area is fairly new to me in the same way to him as it is to me. But I think I've got the knack of it now after 2,300 and something miles. I haven't totted up the mileage yet. I've let that sort of fall behind a bit. I need to do some kind of admin work and update all these things. I'm just spending so much time on my computer making films and backing up onto a separate hard drive just in case my computer fails, and then I've got a backup. And it takes a lot of doing, it takes a lot of time. And I'm on my third 2 terabyte hard drive now, which tells you how much film work there is, and all of it will be used again one day. And I just haven't got the time to sort out the kind of wheat from the chaff, and I don't want to throw anything away at this stage, and it'll come in handy. It was an interesting note that my mate Pete Penfold put on this morning about me talking with a guy Darren yesterday, and I said it's 390 days at 12.5 miles an hour, when I really meant 12.5 miles a day, quite obviously. But I've said this before, when you've been doing a long walk, it's not just mental fatigue as well as physical fatigue and aching legs and all the rest of it, but I always find that last hour very difficult to keep my concentration. And I know I've said this before, I was worried about my kind of mental health with my getting mixed up with names and what have you, and all that, and places and so on. It's just that I go through so many places and I meet so many people, and I've got so many other things to think about that I do get confused, apart from the fact that I'm 70. And interestingly, my friend my friend Rosemary, I'm sure she didn't mean anything facetiously about it, but said, well, it's because of the amount of beer I'm drinking. Well, the beer is another form of taking in calories. All right, I have my big breakfast and I eat plenty in the morning, and I don't eat much else at all, but I do like 2 or 3 beers on a night before I go to bed, and that just tucks me up in bed nicely, and it's been like that all the way through this journey. I think if you was to calculate, there's 267 or 270 days or something like that. Well, if you multiply that by 3 pints, my mental arithmetic, that's somewhere in the region of about sort of 800 cans of Stella since I've been on this walk. That's an interesting statistic, and I'm quite sure you'll all have your opinions on that. But I never drink more than 3. I might push it to 4 if I've got someone with me, or if I'm on a night out or something, but I'm not stupid about it. I'm definitely not an alcoholic, and but I do like my beer, and I always have done, always will do. So I've got the last hour in front of me now, and it's calmed down. It's clouded over a little bit, the sun's gone in. It's still what little bit of wind there is blowing from the back of me, and I'm I'm making good progress. I'm taking it quite easy today. There's no particular rush, and I've already got the rest of the day planned out. So here we go for the last hour.